Hi, this is Scotty with Scotty Ball Trades, and today I'm going to show you a comparison of two different air nailers. I've got a Ryobi air brad nailer and I've got a Dewalt brad nailer. I want to show you some of the benefits of having a pneumatic system and some of the benefits of having an electrical system. Now when you look at the two side by side, first thing you can notice is the size, and definitely weight is an issue. We came up with about 6.3 pounds for the Ryobi, and we were about 3 pounds even for the Dewalt. What I really like about the Ryobi is the portability. You have your battery pack, which is really light compared to what they used to be, and it's lithium ion, so it's going to charge very quickly and easily. With this, you've got two functions. Number one, your air adjustment is on the back here, and so basically you don't need a compressor with this because your air is all produced inside this portion of the head, so it's pretty cool. So the Ryobi and the Dewalt can use between 5/8 inch brad nails and up to 2 inches long. So both of them are going to open with a little squeeze. You've got a whole sleeve of nails here. You always want to go completely toward the front. These 1.5 inches are what I've done for basic trim around the house. So it clicks into place. So the actuation, when you do fire, this has to be completely, just for safety, this has to be completely depressed all the way in. You can see that actuation. It won't fire unless that's pushed all the way down. Then you can actuate your trigger up here, and then you'll get the machine to fire. So with the battery in place, one other cool feature is you got a nice LED light here, and one of the features of this light is if your battery is not fully charged, this will start to blink on you. If there's a malfunction, this will actually start to blink on you and tell you that there's something wrong. So just like any other item, you never want to put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot and actuate it. So a couple test runs, you're going to want to go ahead and push down fully. Just to get a test run, go ahead and squeeze and let the machine fully discharge. Squeeze until this is all the way done. That's one of the differences between the electric and the air. The air is pretty much instantaneous, where the electric, you're going to have the machine actuate, build up pressure, fire, and then release, and then your nail should be all set. And there you go. You see my nail is about a few millimeters up. It's not fully sunk. So to adjust that, what I'm going to first do, take my battery pack off, and I'm going to add a little bit more air pressure. So I'm going to turn the dial righty-tighty, 180 degrees. I'll put it back in there and we'll see the difference on that one. Press it down. Almost there. I think I have enough air pressure. Now I'm just going to use the fine tuning knob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do 5 clicks. And you're just going to experiment and see what works best for your piece of wood. So if you do get a jam, the first thing you want to do is take your power supply out. You're going to go ahead, release your nail, and then you can flip the top right here. It's just got a little lever, and it's got some pretty good pressure, so go real slow. There we go, and that should pop open. You can take another nail, or even this piece of wood if I had it, kind of run it in there to dislodge anything that might be causing an issue, but I don't see anything, so maybe I just needed to push a little harder that time. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in there. Flip that down, push my nails all the way back up, close it, reinsert my power supply. Now my overall impression with this is I really like its usability. I can plug it in, I can go ahead and walk around wherever I want. I don't have to worry about a compressor. I like the light in low lighting areas. It puts the light right on your work so you can see really well. It's actually got a nice weight, so if you were at a table building something and you're always about waist high, the weight of the machine is actually going to help you get that depressed. So it's really easy in that respect, but definitely it's really heavy. So if you're going to have to do a lot of articulation, if you've got a lot of angles that you're going to have to rapidly go through, it's kind of cumbersome. I'm a person who doesn't do a lot of nailing like this, so I'm not sure if I would want to carry this for hours and hours if I'm going through a whole house, but for smaller projects it works great. Okay, now the air nailer. This is the one I've used typically. This is the Dewalt. It's the D51238 model number. It's going to be the same size, 5/8 to 1.5 inch brad nails. Pretty much similar features, but also with pneumatic, you've got your compressor that you can air up to whatever PSI you want, and then this is what allows the burst to be measured. So same thing. Always disconnect your power supply. In this case, pneumatic air will be my power. I'm going to pull off. This is the same lever. If I have a jam, I'm going to flip that, pop it. This one's actually really light, really easy. It's not as hard to do. Usually when this does jam, I feel like there's almost more power to the air compressor. These nails get bent pretty good, so I always have another nail that I'll pop it out with and get it back to where it needs to be. Now this small compressor works fine for doing just trim around the house or small projects. What you do with the compressor, you always want to make sure your drain valve is shut. Just right, whenever you're done with your compressor, you open it up, let it fully drain, and that keeps the moisture from building up inside, rusting the tank from the inside out. So I go ahead and close that bottom plug right there, attach my hose. Now this one's just the one that came with it. Really, they're kind of stretchy, so you can get pretty far. You don't want to pull too far because this is just a plastic or polyurethane or whatever type of material. Put it into your compressor. You've got this little slip. You have some ball bearings in here that will open up. So you push this back, the ball bearings are now loose. And then when you push this in here, it is important to note there's a couple different tips. I unfortunately don't know the benefit of one tip versus the other. Some come with one, some come with both, but they're really easy to spin out. Add some Teflon tape, put it back in there. Usually 4 or 5 turns. You don't want to go too tight. Just enough to lock it in place. But yeah, if you have different compressors, different lines, you can easily spin this in or out. Now when I turn this on, that's the problem with air compressor. If you need, to keep things quiet, you got babies sleeping in the next room, or you got neighbors who are on the graveyard sleeping, your compressor, you don't want to be making tons of noise. So that's where this is kind of a nice function. But my switch on the side, there it is. So this is a 80 to 100 psi pressure cylinder. The pressure gets between those ranges, and so once it drops below 80, it'll kick back on. It won't go above 100. So right now it's at about 80, 85, 90 psi right here. This is my pressure regulator. That I can increase this if I want to have more pressure going to my gun. I can decrease it. Depends on whatever type of air tool you're going to use. If I was going to use an air sander or something that was constantly moving, you would need a really big, that's where you get the really big air compressors that you see in garages. So just to test this one, you can see the difference. This has a lot more force from the air coming out. At least the noise is a lot louder. So I'm going to do the same thing. It won't work until this is fully depressed, and then my trigger won't fire until this is actually pressed as well. Yeah, and that worked. It's actually really deep, pretty far in there. I like to have it actually countersunk a lot, so you can put some putty on there, and you don't actually see your nail. When you're all done, then you can bleed your compressor and lefty loosey. Basically, you've got 2 air nailers that are going to get the job done. So you're going to have to weigh the pros and cons of them. This is $140 versus $80. I'm not sure long range which one's built better. You do have a compressor to buy, which this one is between 80 to 100 bucks depending on the brand. Both are pretty quick and easy to set up. Obviously, this is going to get you going a lot faster. I'm not sure I can work all day with this one. This is going to be up and running, cause noise in the background, and give me a little bit more arm left at the end of the day because of its weight. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing just some differences of 2 different products. Thanks for watching.